Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TNT Footy. I was going to say round then, and it's not really a round for us.
No,
Another round of TNT Footy. Let's go.
another round, get in here.
What do we do? As always, I'm Taz, and with me I've got Todd in the middle and Egi on the other side.
What's going on, everyone?
How are we, boys?
Very well.
Yeah, not too bad.
Pies are still playing.
Yeah, there's still footy going, guys, so we do understand if you tune in late as well or rewatch it. So we will be getting updates, or Eggy will be right onto the updates since the Pies are playing.
Absolutely. He is a huge fan of Collingwood, aren't you, Egi?
I am. probably not as pious as some of our other viewers, but
Yeah. So we've got a big show this week, boys. We've obviously got Moistie's Minute, Eggy's Deep Dive. We've got a lot of viewer questions this weekend, so we'll get through them as quick as we can as well. Tip-in results. I hear there's a few perfect rounds on the thing, so
yeah, there
we've
are.
got to be here to collect, as we did stake early, so we'll see who rocks up to get their money.
Yep.
And
A bit of dosh to hand out, so we'll see.
Yeah.
we'll see how we're going.
Carlton Flaggers, welcome.
Hey, welcome, mate.
Just
Welcome.
making a quick hi before he has to go.
Yes,
No worries, mate.
he's on holidays, boys. So
Is he?
Yeah, beautiful.
He wouldn't happen to be the Perthian food, would he, or no?
I don't know.
He's from
I don't
that side of town. In the tipping, I'm not sure if he's in the tipping or not. Welcome, Craig Williams. Doggies cost me 9, damn it. Yes, they cost me.
Yeah, we've got
no,
a
they
few
didn't cost
coming
me
for
9. They
9.
cost me 8.
They cost me about 8 or 7, I think, as well.
Ooh, such
Also, before we get started, we've got the shop on my Shopify. We'll put the links down below there as well. We've got some t-shirts and hats for sale and some more gear on the way, I believe, over the next couple of weeks.
That is true. We'll get to work. We'll keep working on those over the next coming weeks. I cannot talk tonight.
He's
I
still
was the one that was hungover.
Flaggers in Broome. Hello from Broome.
Amazing.
Beautiful part.
Enjoy.
Also,
As,
if you haven't yet, make sure you like our Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. We've got those socials up there too, so make sure you get on board with those as well and subscribe. It really helps us out.
Definitely. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this live, even if you're watching it at a later date, because it really helps promote our show.
Struggling to freaking throw a sentence there, mate.
Hey,
You all right? You all right? You're struggling with a sentence there.
And do you know what? I barely drank last night.
No, you're probably less than me, and I drove home.
See you, Flaggers. Have a good holiday, buddy.
See you,
See you, mate.
Thanks for dropping by.
Oh, goodness. It's, yeah, anyway. Should we get into it?
We
Yeah,
shall.
let's get right into it.
All right.
Nice, this screen. Get away from the footy. Won't be able to see
Get
the
away from the
scores.
footy. He's going to be distracted all night, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
That's all right. Me and Taz will take control until that game's finished. I think we've got about 20 minutes left, don't we?
Yeah, it wouldn't be close.
You got a score updated for us, mate?
Let me scroll down and have a look. It is 75 to 59. You can see it there.
Ooh.
The scores there behind us. And then,
What's that, 16 points? Jeez.
Yeah, it's not much. 10 minutes ago or something.
It's not out of reach for Hawthorn.
No.
It is not. They are coming very hard. Well, look.
Hear your lovely daughters in the background
I
there.
do. Going hard on Roblox. School holidays it is.
All right, we'll get into it. Otherwise,
All right,
we'll
kick it off. I'll
go
close
on.
the door.
Yeah, no worries. Thursday night footy. So obviously this week was gather round, so every game was played over in SA at different ovals. They kicked it off with Adelaide versus Melbourne at the Adelaide Oval, and Melbourne come out on top, which I mean I think most people
I think everyone thought that was going to.
No, I thought Adelaide were gonna win. I thought Melbourne off the 5-day backup, Adelaide struggling to get a win. I thought they were a better team than what they dished out, and I was proven wrong.
They haven't started real well. They're
No.
0-4 now.
0-4 with
0-4.
But Melbourne were pretty good though.
Yeah, they were.
From what
Melbourne,
I watched replay of this game.
Melbourne looked like the same team as when they won the grand final.
Yeah.
Which
They're
is getting
playing-
scary because them and the Cats this year are both doing that. So there's an extra 2
Yeah.
contenders this year that we didn't think were going to be there.
Absolutely. I think we had Melbourne, well, a couple of us had Melbourne sneaking into the 8, but they're playing top, I mean, again, it's early, but they're playing top 4 footy, even top 2 footy.
Just a quick
At the
score
moment.
update. It's a 10-point ball game at the moment.
Oh, so Hawks have kicked
10-point ball
another.
game. They're flying along.
Oh, hey. Maybe there won't be a perfect round.
No.
No. Oh, yes, there is one. There's one that's tipped Hawthorn for the perfect round as well.
Oh.
Ooh,
So if Hawthorn gets up, there's a 1 for.
that'll make it
I've
easy.
seen Dunny tip him, so I don't know if he's gone perfect.
I don't think. Oh, he might have.
I don't think Dunny did, no.
Okay.
No.
No. So I just wanted to go, just with the Melbourne Adelaide game, how good was Petrarca?
Oh,
Very good.
elite athlete.
Absolute freak. His second, third efforts, I don't know if it's just because I haven't really noticed him too much because we know how good of a player he is, but actually sitting there and watching him and focusing on him, he's just a freak.
He is.
Absolute freak. And it wouldn't surprise me.
Petrarca is, yeah. Petrarca, well, look at the Brownlow last year. He was 4th to 5th. The year before, 4th or 5th. You don't do that consistently if you're no good at football.
No. I
True.
thought Clayton Oliver was a bit underwhelming. Like it was
I think
been
because of his
hard
injury, though.
and after the 5-day backup as well.
Yeah, well, he come back with that fractured hand or broken finger or whatever it was. He was wearing the glove, and you can see normally he gets in the contest and he handballed out, but he was kicking everything.
Yep.
He was grabbing it and kicking it forward, so you can tell he was a bit cautious with that hand.
Yeah, it's killing me, super coach.
He'll come good. He will come good.
Yeah, I'm not going to trade him out. You don't trade out primos, especially Nick Dacos, Kelso, if you're in chat somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he trade him out? Did he?
Traded him out after the last 2 weeks, yeah. But
Scores
he's just
130
gone for him, I
plus,
think.
130 plus, and then he scores a 70, and he's like, I'm going to trade him. I'm like, Kelso, don't do it.
Was he worried about the price that he was going to
yeah, I think he got a couple of other primos in, so it's probably worked out better
Yeah.
for him.
Potentially, yeah. Yeah. All right, let's keep moving through.
Next game we don't even know to talk about. That was a pretty average game, umpired poorly.
The next 2 games were pretty ordinary.
Yeah,
really.
I know. I thought we were into some big margins for the weekend, and so we'll touch on a couple of games that were pretty good that I thought weren't going to be as good as they were.
I watched both these games, and I felt the same thing watching it, which I got frustrated last week about this, and it's happened again this week with the umpiring decisions. Some of the decisions, they need to clarify for us viewers what's going on.
Yep.
I believe anyway, like I've watched footy since I was 7 or 8, and I'm struggling to understand the rules of the game now.
I think each week it's changing. Like some things they weren't calling last week, they're calling this week, and then some of the other things they've swapped, they've stopped calling.
And it just confuses everyone watching the game, especially if we're trying to get new viewers to the game. They come in and just, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, apparently now you can touch the ball and still mark it. That's just crazy. I don't understand.
Score update with Craig, 2-4 points 5 minutes ago.
Ooh.
Oh, how you feeling, Egi?
Maybe I should have the game on.
So, yeah, the Brisbane North, that was like, when Brisbane got going, that was always over. North still, they had 16 players under 50 games.
Yeah.
So they're still on the bit of experience they need in that.
Yep. A few standout plays for that game was McCluggage with 36, Sheasel 35. Dunkley has been a really solid contributor for Lions since he's gone up there. He got another 31 touches. 21 of them were handballs. That just shows he's in the contest a lot. But him and Neil finished with 7 clearances, and Davies Uniacke got 7 as well for North, and so did Zeri.
Yeah, Sherry.
Sherry, that's it.
Sherry. Yeah. He's been pretty, since Toddy's left, he's really stepped up and he's been pretty good.
He's been real good, and he has a 75% shot accuracy.
Yep.
How good is that for your ruckman?
What you want when you're kicking goals forwards.
Doesn't kick too many, but
no.
you know. What? I just want to get your thoughts on Georgie Wardlaw.
He's a ball in there, but he's the same. There's no real. I mean, you've got LDU, but he just likes to play his own. But there's no real experience to lead the boys in the middle there.
Yep.
So it's just sort of go hunt, get ball. Which 3 or 4 years you'll be saying there's too much in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
3 or 4 years when they're all 100+ gamers. all of a sudden you got to take some of these players off North because they're too good.
Because I think he played full-time on the ball and he got 11 disposals.
Yeah.
Should they have looked at putting Simpkin in there to replace him at some stage? Because Simpkin's playing mainly half forward now.
Yeah, mainly half forward, but again, that's on who they want in there in the build. And I don't think that was entirely on him. If you look at all of them, they all were under 20 posies. It was just Sheasel touching it down the halfback. But Brisbane just had the ball the whole time.
Yeah, Brisbane have been just the last 2 weeks they've been really good, and I like the move of Dane Zorko going
Down
into
the
the back
halfback.
line.
Yeah.
Beautiful user by foot. He's quick, puts his body on the line. I think it's really solid the way he's playing. Just got here, Craig Williams. Wow, this is a ripper game.
It is a ripper game. Just saw, what is there, 2 minutes and 26 seconds to go by my watch, and Collingwood have just got the ball at half back.
Ooh, 4 points the difference.
All right, well, we'll kick on to the next one. We'll let
Yeah.
Egi watch that, and me and Tassie will keep going.
Yeah,
You watch
so
the last 2 minutes for us, Egi, and we'll talk about the next game. So Port Adelaide, Essendon, I think it was much the same.
Yeah.
Essendon were off, and Port Adelaide were just too good.
Essendon started well. Like their first quarter was good. And then I don't know if it was just Port put the foot down or Essendon just dropped off. But yeah, I thought they started the game quite well.
Yeah, and just fell away.
Yeah. Rosie, superstar.
Yeah, Rosie.
Yes.
Rosie
What a
also
game.
has
What
one.
did you finish with? I think you had 36 touches.
And 3 goals, I believe.
Let me have a look here. 36 touches, 3 goals, 2, 5 clearances. That's huge.
Yeah, elite footballer, but yeah, as I said, that game was sort of over at quarter time.
Yeah.
How good was it having footy start at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday hour and go through to 11 o'clock at night?
I liked it.
I liked it too. I was like driving on the way home, get the
Oh, I
footy
did
started.
it. I was
yeah.
still working.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was on the way home from work, so I was listening on the radio. And
So again, that punishes maybe the lesser known club.
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
North Melbourne. We're all still working at 5:10, so they're not going to put Essendon,
Well, how
Collingwood,
do you
Geelong,
think the
Carlton at those sort of times. They're going to pick
Lions
clubs they reckon don't
fans would
perform.
have been, because it would have been 4 o'clock for them in the afternoon.
Oh, no, and that's another one that's like, but you see Melbourne, Collingwood, Sydney, Carlton, Geelong, Bulldogs, none of those teams are going in that slot.
Craig
but
said that
I
Colin
understand.
Francis played well. He played really well.
Yeah,
Francis played really well. Yeah. Yeah.
But I say if you're going to have the slot, that's fine, but don't just pick on the lesser known clubs
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
slot.
They need to rotate it.
Will Hoskin Elliott just kicked it behind from 60 metres. So
What
5-point ball game, 1 minute to go.
What are your thoughts on having Gather Round on the Easter weekend instead?
No.
No, so Easter weekend's already
There's a
big
Good
with
Friday.
the Good Friday game
And then the Easter Monday.
Monday games. I personally, and this is going on me, I despise the Gather Round. I reckon we get rid of it.
Yeah, you've been saying that since they bought it.
Our first round, I liked it. It was a bit of a novelty, but having it at Port Adelaide, too many years, and I don't think it'll work. I don't know. I think we're going to talk about that a bit later. Eggie's going to look after us with that a bit later, so we'll get back into that.
All right, beautiful. Just lastly on the Essendon Port game, Zach Merritt, as a captain at the moment, he's really putting that club on his shoulders and trying to drive them forward with not just the off-field standards, but he's trying to lead by example on the field as well. He's having an outstanding season.
Yeah, he's been huge early, hasn't he?
He has, even against Port and a losing team, 36 touches, 5 tackles, 7 clearances, 721 metres gained. That's huge.
Yep.
You're behind Eggie 50 seconds, Hawks forward.
I got 27 seconds. It's in their forward line. Yep. Oh, Darcy Morris just punched it out.
All right. Well, we'll go on with the next game.
Yeah,
We'll just get a wrap up when it's done from you, Eggie.
This one was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. West Coast versus Sydney.
Oh, West Coast Sydney, 110%. West Coast come out absolutely firing.
I thought Sydney after the loss last week they was going to blow them out of the water, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it took them to a very long time in the last quarter to get on top.
Yeah.
And Harley Reid was outstanding.
Yeah, Harley Reid was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I love the way when he kicked his goal, he sort of tugged on his jumper as well.
Yep.
Yeah, like I'm going to be here. It meant a bit to him and I'm not going anywhere sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we've seen... Sorry,
Is,
Iggy.
is he like in your Supercoach team? Is he like a lock now for in your team?
No, he's a cash
I
cow.
don't think, yeah.
Yeah, still a cash cow. He's only averaging something like 60 odd. I'm assuming Pies got up by that.
Pies get up, yep.
I'm okay with that because that means I get a perfect round.
That is. And surprisingly,
And we'll talk about that a bit later,
have a
the
win
perfect
for you.
round as well. So hopefully all the Collingwood boys get across now and
Yeah,
jump
hopefully
into the
they'll
show.
jump on in.
They probably will.
We would love to hear some good old Collingwood forever.
Well done, Eggy. Well done.
All right, I get back to the show now.
That's the show. I told you we probably should have postponed it to late.
No, well, I didn't think it was going to be so close. When they were 60,
Bit
or not
of a
60, 40,
suffering.
40 points up at one stage, I thought, okay, this could be a snooze fest. I'll set up for the show and let's go.
So yeah, West Coast Sydney, Isaac Heaney still playing on ball by the looks of it, and Taylor Adams had to sit forward because of it.
Yeah, well, Heaney, you're never going to take him out. The
No.
start of the season he's had. He's probably tied leading the Brownlow at the moment. And yeah, you talk to Sydney fans, they don't want him out of the middle. Taylor Adams can sit forward. Taylor Adams maybe a super sub in next coming weeks, but I think he will make it back in there when he's fully fit. Just a matter of getting fully fit.
Yeah. What about when Parker and Mills come back?
Yeah, so it's a good problem to have.
It is.
It's a very good problem to have, but you can't take. And St Kilda done this a lot last year with their younger kids. They were all in form. The senior players come back, they dumped, and then they went on a losing streak.
Yeah.
Why upset the kids that are winning football? Like Sydney's not winning it, not winning convincingly at the moment, so you can make adjust. But St Kilda are on fire. Come in, muck that whole side up, and they brought their so-called senior players back and started coughing up games.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what does happen because Mills is captain. You're going to throw him straight in.
Yeah, he's coming back in. Yep.
Parker can't play any other position.
Yeah, he's coming back in too.
Jordan, maybe he gets sort of pushed out to forward role, come across from Melbourne to get more midfield time. He may not get it now that they've put Heaney in.
Not get it, yeah.
Just don't know. But
Sydney, or they just rotate heavily.
Sydney do seem to be a little off the pace at the moment. Do you think it's anything to worry about?
Sorry, I missed that. I'm dying.
Sydney a bit off pace at the moment. I don't think it's anything to worry about. They still got the win, and yeah, I think next week. I'm not sure who they got next week. Actually, I think we're looking at. They got the bye next week, have they?
No, they just. Yes, maybe. Yeah, they do have
the
a bye next week.
Yep.
Yeah. So they'll get a week off and then hopefully reset.
Yeah, it might do them good, especially with this stuff.
Reset up against Gold Coast at home.
What was that? Sorry.
Reset up against the Gold Coast at home. So
yeah, for the week after.
Yep,
definitely. Next game, bit of controversy.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll get into that one a bit later, but Moistie's minute will cover a lot of this. But Carlton did look okay. I thought Fremantle looked better.
Yep, agreed with that. Absolutely. Fremantle looked like another team that's really surprised me this year. They've gone back to the form that they were in, not last year, but the year before.
Yep.
And they should really be pushing for a top 8, if not a top 4 spot.
I'd say top 4. They're playing. Yeah, top 4 now. We'll get into Carlton a bit later on, but I think they've been getting very lucky, Carlton, which we used to say about Collingwood.
Well,
all you've got to do is win.
Yeah. That's what they're giving me a lot of glimpse of from Collingwood last year. That's what Carlton are giving me this year. To just getting it done.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Not doing enough to win by miles, but doing enough.
And some other people could be helping them out for that win too. So maybe it's sort of all aligned that they want them to win the premiership this year.
Oh, where are the Carlton supporters? Come in to chat and say, you guys.
Hey, they better be here later because we're gonna have a lot of Carlton abuse going on too. I believe. I think they are very heavily favoured.
Waffle Cosmo Multi would have won 500. Shit bloke.
So they're very heavily favoured by the umpires in the AFL at the moment, I believe, and this.
They are leading the free kick count.
Yeah.
Plus 27, which is 14. Oh no, that was before this round. So that's 14 more differential in front of the next team. And the 50-metre penalties, I like to find those stats because they
Well,
had 5
Fremantle,
against North.
let's have a look here. Fremantle had 16 free kicks and Carlton had 12, so they actually won the free kick count
They evened it up
a little bit. So, but yeah, I do agree with you. Carlton have been getting the rub of the green.
But this might be like the AFL's, they've been on the bottom for a while. So I'm not saying the AFL's cheating, giving them a leg up or anything. That's not the way. But it's like the year Gary Ablett should have won the Brownlow. He didn't win the Brownlow, so the next year they overpointed him. He won
like more of a focus, you mean?
Yeah, so just a little make sure they're not getting screwed sort of this year, sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like we've spoken about before. It's a hard game to umpire, and I think the frustrating part is what they call for one team and not the other, or the little things that they miss that do have such a massive impact on the game.
Which definitely was this game.
Which
clearly
was absolutely
come off right angles from a player.
Yeah,
they've missed it, and I don't understand how 4 umpires missed that.
Well, one umpire called touch, and the other umpire called mark.
Yeah, so see that should have been umpire overall by the called touch.
That's right. Should have been a ball up.
Yeah.
But again, if it was a ball up, you don't know what could have happened.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. But then also the frustration with that is like people get heated. They understand you've got it wrong. You're not listening to them. They get frustrated. It's a big penalty giving them a free kick right in front of goal. I would have been okay with the descent going back to the ball up.
I thought it would have been in the middle.
Give him the kick out, yeah, because it was after the goal. I'm okay with that descent. But another shot in front of goal is brutal at that stage of the game. If that was a grand final, would they have paid that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but we've already said grand finals and finals are umpired very differently.
Yeah, which they shouldn't be.
Exactly. Just a few. Jack here. Jack Wake's put Carlton make their own luck.
I don't know how you come to that conclusion, but one-eyed Carlton supporter.
I just want to read out a couple of stats here. So, highest disposal winners for the Carlton Fremantle game. The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The top 7 players were Fremantle players. So you've got Brayshaw on 38, Clark 30, Sharp 29, which is fantastic for a rookie. I had him on the bench in my classic though, which was really disappointing. Aish, Sarong, Fife, and Hayden Young. And then top disposals for Carlton was Sard 25, Chera 24.
And see, that tells me, which I think Carlton missed a lot of shots too. So,
and I feel like that was a bit Carlton biased. I haven't heard any other stats from any other games coming out yet.
No, yeah, you had some early on.
Absolutely, I've been going through them for sure, and that's where I got what's his name, Merritt and those sort of players.
Yeah. Jack Wade said they shouldn't have mouthed off, and then Saturday night come to another blockbuster, very close one. We had Bulldogs versus Geelong.
Yeah, so we were actually at Crown watching this one together.
Yep. I tipped the Bulldogs, but somehow I was cheering for Geelong. Must have been Peng that got me across the line.
Yeah, Peng getting you over. It was a cracking game late.
It was
a cracking game the whole game, really.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I loved it. Stengel kicking 4 goals.
Yeah.
That was good for Geelong. It's good to see him start to get back into a bit of form after a quiet year last year. I think Sam Darcy's starting to become one of my favourite players for the Western Bulldogs.
You keep mouthing off about Darcy left, right, and centre.
I know, mate. I think he's such a valuable player, and I don't see Rory Lobb getting back into their side with him in the side.
No, I don't see how he can be back in there.
I still don't know why they picked him up, to be honest.
So like I was telling you boys, I thought Geelong was going to run out of legs in the last corner, but like on the scoring pressure, that they looked like they ran out of legs. So like from the defensive side, they were still up and about. So yeah, the 5-day backup didn't hurt them at all. So I think we're looking for a bit of a change in team fitnesses this year with the 5-day backups.
Yeah. Yep. And Jeremy Cameron went back to his early season form from last year as well. He had 2 goals for and nearly 30 touches. I'm pretty sure. I could just look at it, but he played an outstanding game. And it was noticeable when you were watching the game, just how good he was playing. Did you guys have anything in that game that sort of jumped out at you?
No, that was just a cracking between two good sides.
It was, yeah.
The thing that,
And it was
like, and this
was good
just
to be in
cements.
Melbourne to watch it with like two Melbourne clubs going at it, and the bar was getting behind each team and that. So it was sort of by the end of the game, it was sort of split half, like who the people were going for, and yeah,
Yeah,
it made a good atmosphere.
The game yesterday cements in my mind that McRae is leaving, starting as the sub.
Yes.
I do not think he will be there next season. Bevo clearly doesn't want him there. You cannot have that player start. He's not a sub player. He's not an impact player. He's an accumulator. What's he going to do as a sub?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to put here, we got ripped off with that Stengel goal call, but bullshit. Sanders and Bramble, and then picked him up to help in our VFL. Talking about Roy Lobb, that last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't see McRae hanging around. If it's up to him, I'd be requesting a trade from the Bulldogs.
Yeah. And I think we said that about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, but that cemented it. You cannot start him as a sub in that midfield. I don't think your midfield's good enough to leave a player like McRae out.
No, I agree with that. But him, Bontempelli, Liberatore make a good midfield trio. Do you know what I mean?
And no one's ever said, hey, you got too many good midfielders in your midfield.
That's right.
No one's ever said, hey, don't give me 3 Bontempellis or don't give me 3 McRaes. Like, get the 4 best players you've got in that midfield and watch them go to work.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's keep moving along. So this next game surprised me. I really liked it.
I heard it was probably almost the game of the round.
It was a shootout until 3/4 time.
Yeah, I missed it. I was out for family lunch, but yeah.
Yeah, it was
it was an absolute shootout until about 3/4 time, or even halfway through the last, I believe.
Yeah, and then GWS just sort of ran away with it. So we're talking about GWS and Suns, just for those that don't know. Final score 117-89. Matty Rao, absolutely.
My boy's back. My boy is back. Absolute to his 3-game best. He's kicking goals now. Clearance work.
He
superstar.
He's back to his midfield beast mode.
Yeah, so back to like the first 3 games he played were probably his best 3 games he's played. He's back to that sort of form after his injury. He's got confidence in his body now. He's got his fitness up, and he's looking like an absolute beast.
And he looks fit, but he also, he's like you said, he's got that confidence in his body, so he's throwing himself around again.
And he's one of the few players that he doesn't decide. He doesn't let you decide when he gets through the ball. If you tackle him, he'll just stand up in the tackle and he'll dish it off when he wants. Yes. He'll break through tackles. If he's got no option, he'll break through the tackle before he gives it. Yep. Like a lot of players, as soon as they feel someone, it's handball out. He won't. He'll bust that tackle. He'll hold the ball. He sees an option, then he dishes it. He doesn't just panic and throw it on the boot or panic and handball.
Do you know who I see glimpses of that from now? Harley Reid.
Harley Reid, yes. Yeah, same sort of. I suppose it's the big body midfielders that are coming through the underage this year. The underage boys now. They're just, they just take their time. Like a Pendlebury, every time he gets the ball, when he was younger, he looked like he had a ton of space.
Yep. Still does to a degree, but he's a bit slower.
Also Toby Green. He was firing today, kicked 5, I believe.
Yep, that's right. Jesse Hogan kicked another 4 as well.
Yeah, he's got to be the forward of the year so far.
100%. Do you actually know what I really liked about Hogan? So he got 7 marks, but when he wasn't marking the ball and he should have, you could actually see the frustration and the disappointment in himself.
Yeah, he was very angry, wasn't he?
He was. He's taken this next step within himself where he's actually holding himself to a higher expectation of what he can do and what he should be doing.
Yeah,
I think that's huge growth.
Which at his earlier clubs, he didn't do that.
That's right.
He just, next one. But now he's like the will to win is bigger and greater, and it's disappointed. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, mindset. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Mindset is fantastic at the moment, and hopefully GWS can go a fair way again, and he can have a really
flag favourites. I think.
Do you think so?
I think they're despite something major happening, like a few injuries, I think they're the team to beat.
Yep. What about Gold Coast? Do you think this says a lot about them, considering that they pushed the Giants up until three-quarter time?
Yeah, well, I've got them top 8, but then you look also, North Melbourne pushed the Giants till three-quarter time.
True.
So a lot of teams are pushing them, just can't continue to go through them. Giants just seem to find another gear late when it matters. Like Carlton, but see, they're blowing teams out of the water late.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But it was a cracking game. Absolutely.
No, absolute cracker.
Next game really surprised me.
Yeah.
Oh, Richmond surprised me the last couple of weeks. I had them spooning this year, and they've shown a bit.
What I've noticed is they've kind of got this game style of hunting in packs. So instead of it being one or two going for a tackle, you'll actually see anywhere between 4 and 5 Richmond players around the person with the ball, and they just hit them. Like, they just go hard. They're cutting off anyone trying to run by with, getting the handball off to them.
So back to those premiership years, that's what they used to do. Used to
That's
get the
right.
ball forward, attacking packs, and just forward at all costs.
Exactly right. Do we want
St
to
Kilda showed a bit though coming back though. I thought they were done at quarter time. Half time they'd kicked 1 goal to half time and just sort of found a way to get back.
Yep. I'm just going to catch up on chat a little bit here. So Craig's we don't want Bevo there. Craig he still thinks that McRae will stay, and he reckons he'll stay because he
No, that's GWS. Because
sorry,
he's going to get a flag at GWS. That's
got you. Talking about Hogan. Yep, that makes sense.
Bevo goes and he gets more midfield. He could stay, but they've got to dump Bevo first.
Potentially, he's got to make a few changes though. It was good to see Dusty Martin back today. He was running around like he was a few years ago.
Yeah, running through the middle, up by half forward. He was running everywhere.
I think Kane Corns called him out last week, didn't he? Saying that he should retire. Wasn't he?
He did.
Yeah, called out him and another player as well.
He goes, retire before you. He goes, you should retire while you're still high and seen as a champion or something like that. I think Dusty's still got a lot to offer, and whether it's at Richmond next year because his contract is up this year, or whether it's at another club, I'm not sure he'll go to Gold Coast because of the youth coming through Gold Coast now.
Too much depth in Gold Coast now. I don't think they can fit him in there.
But you reckon he could give up the game and go in for like a sort of a coaching sort of
he might go in for a coach if he wants to move to the Gold Coast. He can go in and be a kicking coach or a midfield coach or something.
Yep.
Coaching's always you can go anywhere to coach.
Yeah. And he knows his forward craft really well. Like, for a player that's not massive, he actually knows the patterns and where to run and what to do. So I think he could offer a lot of value to a forward line.
Yep. But that was a cracking game too. I watched glimpses of that. I actually missed the start of the Collingwood-Hawthorn game. I forgot it was on watching this game.
Yep. Yeah, but it was just a great game. Jack Steele, 10 tackles. He's getting back to his brutal best as well after having an injury interrupted year last year. So that was good. And then we move on to
just before we go. G'day, Tyson. We've got g'day boys. Tyson here, Craig's oldest son, watching the show with the dad and enjoying it.
Welcome. Thank you for
welcome, Tyson. Welcome. I hear you're I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you're a pretty good footy player yourself, mate.
Beautiful. Another one coming through.
Ross has also put Gold Coast had 7 changes and 3 debuts and one 2-second gamer. Show Gold Coast have taken a step.
Definitely.
Yeah, they got plenty of depth there now, which is the main.
Ross might be able to help me here in the Collingwood-Hawthorn game. I noticed last week Jack Crisp was the sub, and this week was Steele Sidebottom. Was that is that because of an injury? Steele Sidebottom was the sub, but I think these are some big names to be starting on the sidelines.
Well, while he answers that, we'll get into this game, which we didn't see the end of, obviously, because we were here, but we had Egi surfing on. But it was Hawthorn storming home late to just miss out. Yeah,
just miss out.
Yeah, we were going to.
It always seems like ever since last year when they beat us last year, like they just seem to be our bogey team. They seem to play well against us.
Yeah, so is this another thing that Collingwood, because they looked good early, Collingwood, but
they did look good early. And I was watching. Well, I don't know. I think Hawthorn sort of come good as well.
Hawthorn played better.
Yeah. I think I'd like to hear from Craig because Craig sounded like he watched it. Was just good footy.
Yeah.
It's good to see Jordan De Goey actually find a lot of the ball.
Yeah, like he came out firing in the first. Yeah, I think he kicked the second goal, and
Yeah,
come out firing in the first.
because he started pretty quiet this year.
Yeah.
And those that picked him up as a pod in Supercoach have been very frustrated. I
Yeah.
didn't, but I've had a
never
few.
touched him. I'd stay away because he's a bit hit and miss.
Yeah.
He's
He
good
does
for
games
2
like
games
today.
and then he misses 6.
Yeah, exactly. What sort of standouts did you have from this game, Eggy, from what you saw?
No one really. Like when I was first watching, there was just goals coming from everywhere. It was like Jack Crisp. It was Ginnivan, obviously not for us. And then like Schultz kicked the first one, but it was like a wide spread across the mat. And, Pendlebury got one, and then I think he didn't come out in the second half because he got hit. I can't remember who passed him the ball. Might have been DeGoey that passed him the ball, and he sort of come back into a player, and sort of come off a bit hurt. Just before half time, and didn't come back on the field.
It was good to see when Ginnivan, I didn't see his first goal, I did see his second goal when he kicked it. He sort of gave it a bit to the Collingwood defenders, and then Maynard comes up, gave it back to him. But having a look here, Blake Hardwick, he kicked 4 goals. Isn't he a defender?
Playing forward this year, I believe.
Interesting.
He does play off the half-back, but I think they're struggling a bit forward, Hawthorn.
Yeah, right. Do you think that they shouldn't have got rid of Kaczynski then?
I was a firm believer they shouldn't have got rid of him, but then they've had a lot of injuries as well. So that injuries.
Well, just this week, 3 of their forward line this week, and Lewis, Watson, and Bruce were all out. So that's impressive that they've.
And that's why they've had to fling him forward, because you get rid of Watson, you get rid of Bruce. That's 3 small forwards.
Yeah, very true.
Cover.
Very true. But hopefully John Newcomb can start to find a bit of form. I think he's been pretty quiet too.
He's been. He's still a young player too.
He is.
Because of these players coming through like Nick Dacos, Sheasel, Josh Dacos, there's a few of them that have come through and just hit perfect form early. We expect all the young kids to come through, like McKerchief and North as well. Like, it does take a bit of time, and some people can develop long. But Newcomb showed us in his second season that he's dynamite player.
Yeah, tackle machine. Absolute machine with his tackling. All right, that's the round wrap up.
We'll just catch up and chat quickly too. Chipmunk Man, that's Cody Sonny put, I am okay. That must be at footy, so it's good to hear.
He's footy, beautiful.
I'd like to hear some more about his footy, where he's playing in that, but we'll do that off air, I think. Plus, it's put management of load and travel. It's planned to help the bodies of the season, as the season started early on the high intensity of training of the pre-season. Schultz had 4 shots on goal, 2 goals and 2 behinds. Jack Wake put Hardwick was the standout. Russell put 2 goals from free kicks. Russell said Hardwick was good.
Fantastic. That's good. Thanks for your input there, guys, because we did miss the end of it.
Most of that game, yeah.
All right.
Turtles just put sorry boys late to the shows as well.
No, we were just going on that. We were contemplating whether we started late Turtles with the big game on, but we thought the game was nearly done, and then we've heard it had a great ending. So
it did. It did. We were going to start. We were thinking about starting at 8:00, and then we're like, we'll just start. We knew that a lot of people wouldn't come across until the finish of the game.
Well, it was more my fault. I was feeling a bit worse for wear for festivities last night, so I'm ready to go to bed. So
I love it. I love the honesty, and that's what we're about. I was actually asleep from 5:30 till 6:30 this afternoon too. That's probably why I can't talk properly.
Can't talk. He's missing a bit. He's a bit off topic. You were a bit slurry early on too, weren't you?
I was, and like I said, I didn't actually drink that much. Just not used to the late
old,
nights.
Mate. Yeah. The bodies are old now.
Absolutely. All right, Moisty.
Going to roll into Moisty's minute. First, I'm going to click over. It takes about 10 seconds for the intro to roll in, and then you got a minute 30 to let us know your Moisty minute.
That's
all right.
All right, you ready? Here we go.
Let's go to the intro. All right, we're good to go. Moisty's minute, boys. Let's get a minute on the clock. And I'll just jump straight into it. All right, now there's a bit of umpiring things, so that's what it's going to be on. 50-metre penalties, are they too severe?
No, I think it's part of the game.
It is part of the game.
Part of the game. All right. Umpires, do they have too much control over the outcome of games lately?
Lately, yeah.
Do you think there's too many on the field and they're sort of outdoing each other? But yeah, we'll touch more at the end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Should 4 points stand for games that we know were cost by umpires? Now, this is only coming up again because of the Carlton one, but I'm also about the Adelaide-Sydney one.
Last year.
Yeah. Are you happy for those points to stand, or should we get a review?
You go first, Egi.
I'm happy for them to stand. It's been that way, like for NRL, for AFL, for the whole 100 years, whatever it's been. So why should it change now?
Yeah,
I agree with that. I think it should stand because if you don't actually know what would happen if that situation didn't happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, gotcha. Should umpires be penalised for making bad decisions like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is probably an open-ended question, but what should happen to them? Like relegated to VFL?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and like class it as a suspension from the
Class it as a suspension.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
Do like that. All right, that's Moisey's minute. It was just about the umpires, short and sweet this week. I was
Now, do we want to talk more about some of those topics? Or?
We can talk more about it. Which one would you after?
I
think it was the umpires having too much control of the game.
Can I just say, I mentioned it last year when we were having all the issues with the umpiring early on. It needs to be a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm still a firm believer that the AFL now makes enough money that they could employ umpires full-time so they can do proper reviews and everything like they do with, like clubs do with footy players and the teams.
Yep.
What do you two think?
Yeah, no, I agreed with that last year. I thought it would be.
I think so. I think so too. With like how technology's grown since the game's grown as well, and that's why we're able to go back and review most of these, see it was wrong or not. So like 50 years ago, you wouldn't be able to come back and look at it and say, the umpire got it wrong here.
But that one come off at a right angle, the one we're talking about. That hit a player and bounced straight up. The only reason it made the distance for the mark was because it bounced off a player and went straight up.
Yeah.
I don't understand how 4 umpires missed that.
Well, it was 2 umpires, one called play on and one called mark.
Yeah. So the play on overrode the mark.
I'm assuming they've got like a senior umpire who's gone, no, my decision overrules you. Which, in that sort of situation. See, I also think in that situation, because the play was stopped either way.
Yeah.
Right? They should actually review it.
You should have a review and then ball it up because it was going to be a ball up or a mark.
That's right.
Tackled straight away after, so it's either a ball up or a mark.
So if you've got 2 umpires in that situation where there is a stop in play, just review it. That would have taken 5 seconds.
Okay, we're getting a bit we're getting a bit umpire aggressive in the chat now, so I'll go back to this. Is there any point of having goal umpires when sometimes there's not worth in having because the score review and stuff, they get overrid? Which I agree. If they're sure, just call it. Get it back to middle. If it gets overrid, it gets overrid. Bring them back.
Yeah.
And then Jack, that was Craig that said that, and Jack's just said the same. I agree. I wonder what's the point of having goal umpires if they just review everything anyway.
Yeah. I think they go with the soft call. I think they do need to have a lot more confidence in what they're calling, but then they do get a slap over the wrist if they don't call it right as well. So I think we're in this transition period, and hopefully in the next 2 to 3 years, we've got a bit more idea.
That chip ball that's getting the run in the VFL, hopefully that comes in and sorts out a lot of the issues, because a lot of it is the touch and the goal umpire. So we'll be able to tell straight away if they're touched or not with Snicko on the ball.
Yeah. Do we know how that's going? I might look into that over the next week or two and see if we can get any stats or reviews on how that's going in the VFL at the moment, because that'd be interesting to know.
I do not know, but Moisey's minute's gone for about 6 minutes. So
Craig's also put, I wouldn't be surprised if they scrap the goal umpire soon and we'll come down to the score review all the time.
I think that slows the game down way too much, though.
Yeah.
Because the clear points are the ones where you get and go quick. You still need that option to be able to get out of that back line.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. It's time for our favorite segment. This is actually started to become my favourite segment as well.
Oh, he's jumped ship.
changed,
He's
he
on
jumped
the
ship.
he's on the Egi deep dive now. He hated it at the start of the season.
I
He's
didn't
come around.
hate it. Thank you.
All right, Eggy's deep dive this week is Gather Round a success. I was worried that last year's Gather Round was the weekend before the Live Golf, and this year they're 3 weeks apart. But I thought having them so close last year that they sort of rolled into each other. But I just want to take a look at the numbers. But from the attendance point of view, the numbers are looking pretty on par. Like I think Adelaide and Carlton last year got 47,395, and this year the Adelaide and Melbourne got 48,000. So they picked up a few extra hundred there. The Brisbane and North was the similar one to the Fremantle Gold Coast, and they were this year they lost about 300 people at the game, so there was only 9,037. And I think rolling into Port Adelaide and Essendon, there was 47,000 at Adelaide Oval, and the one that matched up with that one was the Essendon and Melbourne, and it was only 33,000. So that blockbuster made it double. Then we had the Western Bulldogs and Geelong, which would have been the same as Port Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs. They got 45, and they got 45 again. So I think they got an extra 700 people.
So the crowds were the same.
Yeah, the crowds were the same.
How do we go with the viewers?
I haven't got the numbers for the viewers.
They haven't released them yet?
Nah.
Yeah.
So that's just like the GWS game today was 9,337, and it was equivalent to the Hawthorn GWS last year, and there was only 9,000. But I'm waiting to see the numbers for the Collingwood versus Hawthorn. But it looked like a pretty good crowd there.
Yeah, so the numbers have gone close to par with last year, so it is a success.
Yeah.
It also depends on what the venue capacity is as well. Like you got to think,
that's true.
They're playing like Norwood Oval. I think their max capacity might be 10K potentially.
Do you think they should be playing at Norwood Oval though?
Well, Norwood want to put a team in the AFL as the 20th team. So
but that's that ground with the straight up and down boundary lines.
I think it's a shocking ground.
Cannot be an AFL ground.
No, I think it's a shocking ground. It looks like a racing track.
But they'll probably go to Adelaide Oval as well, wouldn't they?
I don't know if they've got they'd probably build a new. I think the requirement now to get into the AFL is you have to have the stadium capacity, so they probably have to build a new one. You can't have 3 clubs playing out of Adelaide Oval. I think that'll get too.
They do with Melbourne.
Docs just put 42,000 at the Pies Hawk. That's 1,000 down from last year, but that's Collingwood played St Kilda last year, and both games were within the goal. So it's good to see them closing out the Gather Round with such a good intensity games.
So the games they had over 40, so that's good. I suppose it shows it's working.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll probably. I mean, then Adelaide have got it for another year, so they had it for 3 years. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then they did want to move it around. I think they need to move it around. I don't think it should be at Adelaide every year.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on having it at the same field? So I know the NRL have it their Magic Round, and it's in Brisbane, and it's all at Suncorp Stadium. How do you guys feel about the double headers being on the same ground?
I don't know.
I don't mind them. Yeah. As long as player safety comes into mind. As long as
that's the worry about. Like
as long as there's enough time for one club to vacate before the other one gets in there.
And then from the first game to the last game, how bad's the ground going to be?
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah, especially if it's a wet weekend.
Yeah. So they could almost trial it at a Marvel where they could have the roof closed, or I suppose you don't want to.
You don't want to chew up Marvel as well.
If they held it in Melbourne, you'd have it between Marvel and MCG. I think that'd be more than enough.
Yeah.
Can't have it in Melbourne. You can't have Gather Round go to Melbourne. The whole point of Gather Round is to.
I understand that, but as an example, that's what you could do. And I think
Sydney you could, because you've got 2 grounds in Sydney.
Yeah,
and up in Queensland as well, you've got
Gold Coast and
Brisbane.
But
plus,
they are quite a fair distance apart.
Aren't they an hour away from each other?
Yeah, yes, and then that's without finding traffic into getting into the stadiums as well.
True, that is true.
So I really. And people are saying it won't work. Well, I reckon we give WA a crack.
Yeah, I think so. But they had most of the COVID year.
And I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so. Definitely.
When are the umpires going to be held accountable for crap decisions? We just went through that. I was just that was what Moisty's minute was about. Craig Williams, depends on the wet weather. Stephen, not me. Love the fact that Mount Baker and Norwood ovals help.
Bros has also put a little bit higher here. How about we make umpires full time instead of part time? That's exactly what we were saying before as well. Definitely.
Local venue footies, local footy venues.
And icon venues. So it's like
And
it's not for me having it at the big ovals. He loves the fact that Mount Barker and Norwood Oval help
them out. Yeah.
Yeah, he likes having there.
That makes
I suppose
sense.
it helps those local clubs too if
Yeah.
they can host a big venue like that.
Definitely.
You're all right, Doc. We knew everyone was going to be late with the Hawthorn Collingwood
the
going on.
and we know that 60% of our viewers are well, no, actually it's probably 40% because the other 40% are Carlton.
This is
So
true.
we did know that. We were going to hold it later, but it looked like that game was going to be over, and then we seen Hawthorn storm back, and we thought, oh well, we've gone a bit early.
Yep. What
right,
were your
let's keep
reflections
moving.
on the game, Doc? Did you think Collingwood sort of lost it at the end, or Hawthorn sort of come good? All right. And here we go. Taz's viewers' questions.
All right. I'm just conscious of the time.
Yeah.
8:22. No. We got a lot of questions in this week, so I do apologise if we didn't get around to everyone's. We're trying to limit how many questions we do each week. Otherwise, we'll be sitting here for another hour. And we love getting your questions in, so please keep sending them through. To send them through, we'll cover off at the end. All right. So first question. Carlton_Flaggers 2024 via Instagram has got, is losing the clearance battles over the past few games a worry for Carlton?
I'll take this one. I think, yes, it is. And the reason I reckon it's not noticed about is what we talked about before, the free kick counts.
Right.
Getting the ball handed back to them a lot.
Do you think that they're losing the clearance count a little bit more because their transition game has stepped up significantly? And premiership teams are normally, top 2 or 3 in the competition for scoring from, not transition, from intercept possession.
Intercept from turnovers.
Yeah.
I do understand the big score comes from turnovers, but then you've got to rely on the turnovers. It's not sustainable. You want to be scoring from multiple sources, like locking it into the defence. You want to be which is the turnovers. Centre ball scorers are good as well. If you can get centre clearance goals, it's better. But if you can get the ball into your 450, then lock it in. That's what Collingwood did real well.
Yeah.
They won it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But it always starts in the middle. If you're playing from behind the 8 ball, it becomes tiring.
Yeah. I think looking at us last year, we were number 1 in the league for scoring from clearance, but our scoring from turnover was one of the worst.
It was woeful, yeah.
We're still not terrible in the clearance, scoring from clearance, but our scoring from turnovers improved drastically.
Yeah.
All right. Second question. Thank you, Carlton Flaggers, by the way. Second question, Artie has got here, how much did Carlton pay the umpires for the win? Artie? Piss off.
We went over that in Moisty's minute anyway, but I 110% agree. Carlton has been very favourable in the first 5-6 weeks, and that decision, if it happens in the first quarter, we don't say much about it. Happens and wins them the game in the last 50 seconds, it's word ball free.
Yep. I'm just going to actually, Egi, do you want to catch us up on chat a little bit?
All right. Doc's put, I'm surprised the cops didn't get called on me with the rubbish umpires. He also put, it was a bit of both. Ross has put, winning stoppages allows to gain territory and field position.
Yeah, that's why I come in the big one. You want to be fighting forward, not struggling back to fight forward.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You kind of want both, really. You want to be even spread across the two of them. Yep. All right. Question from a new viewer. Who messaged me saying that they were unable to jump into the chat live, but they will be following up later. So this is from Instagram, and their Instagram tag, for those that want to reach out to them and maybe have a look at their page, is carlton.but.starwars. And the question is, thoughts on 4-0 for the first time since 1995?
I think they're looking good. I think they're looking good.
Yeah.
I'd never said they weren't looking good. I think they're looking very good as well. But
Yeah.
there is about, and I say that Freo's looking good. GWS is looking
Yes.
good. Carlton are looking very good, but it's a heated competition this year.
Oh, it
There's
is.
a lot of
Very-
teams looking very good.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's still early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We keep
Still
saying
very early.
this.
And
we're 4 rounds in.
I think this year, more than any, it's going to come down to depth. You get a few crucial injuries. How well can you cover them?
Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely.
They're firing well, but what if Kerno and Mackay go down?
Yeah, and that's probably our biggest question mark, is because we don't have forwards who can come in and replace them.
Yeah.
But Jack Silvani did his ACL. Defense, we're okay. We've got Lewis Young in the VFL. We had Brody Kemp come up this week. We've got Marchbank coming back from an injury later. Across the field, our midfield and everything we've got depth, but our forward line is probably the concern where we don't have a lot of depth.
Yeah. So I think this year more than any, it's going to come down to depth. It's going to be who can keep their side fitter, which I think it did to a degree last year as well. Collingwood and Brisbane were probably the two least injury affected teams.
Yep. They got a good run. It was good.
And that's what we want.
Turtles put maybe look for the brown paper bags if it's the first time since 1995.
Piss off, Turtle.
Hashtag pious.
Coach _Stephen51. He is in chat.
He has got Woogirl.
I'm coming back to that.
Okay.
Could have gave me the heads up. Otherwise, I would have put that one last.
Oh, did you put it up? I'm sorry. Coach _Stephen51. Is Rao the fave to win the Brownlow? If not, who's your pick? I think Heaney at the moment.
Yeah, Heaney's up there.
Rao's my favourite.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like I think Rao might have missed out on like the first couple of games, or I think there's a game or two that he would have missed out. Whereas Heaney, I think he's been up there since.
Yeah.
I've been following Rao obviously because he's one of my favourite players. I think Heaney's missed 1 vote and Rao's missed 1 vote. So I think they're nearly tied on top.
I also think Sarong will be up there.
Yeah. Sarong, him, Rao. At the moment, the form I can see stacking up is Rao's going to do it week in, week out. Sarong's going to do it week in, week out. Heaney is the question mark. He's done it for the first 5. Can he keep doing it? Will they leave him in the midfield? What happens when these players come back?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What about you guys in chat? Who do you think that... Oh, Jack, that is...
Always for Brownlow, I've got. Rosie, good chance. Yes, Turtle. Rosie's on fire.
Definitely. All right, next question is from yours truly, Jack Wake, in chat. Jack.wake.5 for those who want to follow him on Instagram. Is always the most underrated player in the game right now? If not, then who?
I don't know if he's taking the piss here. But I think this is an attack at Stephen Brosnahan.
Just an ongoing joke with everyone. I think there's like everyone just keeps jumping on board. So
yeah,
I think it started with a few years talking about Owens, and I think I jumped on board, and yeah.
It's a pretty good gag, though. I like it.
A bit of a gag going, but no, I don't think he's the most underrated player in the game right now. I reckon he's lucky to have a spot in the side.
Yeah, I think he's pretty overrated, to be honest, from certain people.
He did kick 3 or 4 against North, so that was a highlight of his career, I think.
But look, he's done well. He's come from as a rookie B selection from basketball and whatnot, but
he's a great player. He's but not overrated.
He's a role player.
Yeah.
Is a role player. I actually think if we're looking at an underrated player, and I'm going to be Carlton bias here, I think Cottrell is.
I think there's more you can get.
Who's
the guy? I had someone on my, and I've just forgotten about him, but I might come back to it when I think. But we'll let you explain Cottrell decision, Tassie.
Oh, Cottrell, I think we saw in the Freo game, he can impact games with X Factor, but no one goes to the footy to watch Cottrell.
Yeah.
He's probably, I've seen heaps of posts about him in the last 24 hours because of the way he played yesterday. However, Carlton supporters rate him, but outside of Carlton, he's very underrated with what he can actually do. Runs all day, tackles hard. He's just, I just think he's underrated. All right.
You know the one I've got, and everyone, I do actually know who I was getting at, and everyone's, I don't know if he's underrated, but I've got him underrated, and I've got a lot of hate coming for this bloke out of Essendon. You probably know where I'm going with this. You can
I've
pick
got no
who I'm
idea.
going with out of Essendon. So everyone's getting on him
You
about having
defender
4
or?
kick-ins. No, it's
Martin.
Martin. So Martin's had 44 touches because 6 of them were kick-ins. People were just... He's come out of nowhere, Martin, since he's moved back to the halfback. He's absolutely come out of nowhere. No one is rating this kid yet.
He
Saying,
played
it's
well on
because
the wing the year before.
Yeah, but everyone's saying, he had 6 kick-ins. He's had 44 touches. Who cares? Sheasel had 36 the other day, and 15 of them were kick-ins.
Yeah.
No one's
Yeah,
up to
very
the
true.
Sheasel about them. Like, I think we give that kid a break, and I reckon he's going to be an absolute star.
I think so too. And he was picked up in the mid-season rookie.
Yes, he was. They seem to go pretty well, Essendon, from the mid-season. They got Martin, and they got the Seymour boy, Sammy Durham.
Yes, they did. Absolutely. All right. Next, well, this one's not really a question. It was more of just Zoe_EN just sent through the word descent. So
Now, is this having a go at that descent that Carlton got?
possibly because her husband is a Carlton supporter.
Yeah. So I really think that punishment was too big. Now, we were saying how the descent, they've kicked the goal, fair enough. Free kick should be back in the middle for descent.
Yep.
I don't think it should have been put. Descent, no worries. I'm happy you've abused the umpire, fair enough. I don't think it should have been free. I think they should have let it go. But if they were, you can't pay it in front of goal.
Yeah.
If it was the other way, would they have gone to the middle or would they have paid it where it was?
Yep. Absolutely. Steve Brosnahan's got here, most underrated player in the AFL right now, Sam Collins.
Yeah.
And Turtle's also put Martin has always been rated.
Yeah, I just feel he's gotten a bit of hate lately.
Now we'll go back to the other one. Eggy's wife actually sent this one through, and that's Haley with _Y_J. Can we rename Eggy to Woogirl? That is all.
In reference, after I get a few drinks in me, I do get a bit wooey and a bit loud, and she might have got some Snapchats last night where wooing when a Geelong team won. So,
mind you, Eggy decided to stand up on a box so he was above everyone in the middle of the pub. And
singing the Geelong theme song too.
It was like, what's the Geelong theme
song? So that's a bit of context to that. That's a great question, Haley. Thank you very much for sending that through. And Eggy will next episode be known as Woogirl.
Woogirl. I think he's known as this one.
Yeah.
All right.
Come back just for the end, Flaggers. Welcome.
Thanks, mate. Hopefully Broom's not too hot.
No, we just got your question about the clearance battle, so you might have to go back and look at that. But we think Carlton are flying along too.
Now, tipping.
Now, we've got a bit of dilemma this week, boys, because I think we had 4 perfect rounds this week.
We did.
We did.
Refresh this list.
Perfect.
And they're like actual complete perfect.
Complete perfect rounds. They're perfect margin, perfect tips. Now, Taz doesn't count because he's one of us.
That's rude.
So we're going to go 3 from 3 here. And we did say initially at the start that you had to be in chat to claim your reward.
We did say at the start of the year, that's right.
So if Eggy wants to read out who we've got.
And scroll through it because I thought it was going to... Actually, I might be able to do it on my phone, might be quicker.
Yeah, our tipping's weird. It doesn't put the round 5 up, does it?
So I can do it on my phone, but I can't do it on the thing.
So I think G-Raw, no, she got a perfect round, but she wasn't.
Yeah, she was 2 points out.
Yeah. So we had about 6-7 perfect rounds, I think, but we were going back to points margin, and then we're going, are you live in chat?
Sorry, people.
So Taz was one, but he's not in chat, so he doesn't get paid.
And then there was the Perthian and the Black Flash.
The Perfume Food, the Black Flash.
And Kate's with a double S on the end.
And
T-A-T-E-S-S.
If you're in chat,
if you guys are in chat.
If you guys are live or in chat or watching, can you let yourself known and we will send you that prize money? I think
looks
it's
like
$20, isn't it?
Looks like Taz Speech has just commented there, boy.
No, Taz Speech. One of us don't get it. We said that originally too. But if one of you guys are in chat, either reach out to me or Taz, or type in chat, or me, Taz or Egi, sorry. Or
Well,
type in
and this sort of special promotion we only advertise during the show and that. So yeah, so no one else sees it besides you guys watching.
Yeah, no one else knows that we do this because it's it's only on the show. So if you tune in weekly, you get the extra bonuses, and if you don't, you miss out, I suppose.
Yeah, well, it just jackpots again to next week. So how are we doing? Is it $5?
Well, it seems a bit quiet in the chat, so I only see you at the moment.
That's true.
Yeah, there's only you in there, but even I couldn't even tell you who those people were. We probably should have done this earlier in the chat, so we gave them all show to chime in.
However, what we'll do is we'll give them until midweek.
Yeah.
Because they might watch this on replay.
Watch it on replay, yeah. So we'll give to Wednesday, and if we haven't heard from them till Wednesday, we'll put it up on the TikToks and let you know if anyone's tuned in.
9 p.m. Wednesday.
9 p.m. Wednesday, and if not, it'll go to 25 next week. Otherwise, we'll post on the socials.
Taz is not taking the $20.
Nope.
He did win it.
No. It said hosts don't get it. We're just here for the ride.
Beautiful.
We're just going to jackpot it right up.
I just want to say there was 17 people in the league that had a perfect round, just different margins.
Yep.
Massive.
In our league, 17.
Yeah.
17.
Well, I think they're all the favourites. I went a bit controversial.
Yeah, I went a bit controversial too.
Yeah. I thought Adelaide were going to get up, but they were,
So that's mighty fine tipping, but obviously we do it by points. We've had 4 perfects. If one of you guys can get in contact with us, or if you see the show later, make sure you.
The $20 is yours.
Absolutely. Even comments on the YouTube video if you're watching this at a later date, and while you're commenting, like and subscribe.
And then even if you try to fake be those persons, we do have their information details in there. So I will be asking you what your email or phone number is, so we can verify it is you.
Yep, absolutely. Perfect. What a show.
All right, that went a bit longer, but that's because I think we had the fumble with the football at the start, and we kept trying to update the football. And...
I'm blaming the hangover, but
love it. Thank you very much, everyone, again to tune in. Really love the fact that you guys are joining every week and giving us good feedback and enjoying the show. Again, if you're not following us on socials, we're on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. They're probably our main 3. So give us a follow. We actually hit a milestone of 100 followers on Instagram, and we're getting closer to the 100 milestone on TikTok as well. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining tonight, even though you're probably a bit tired.
Carlton Flaggers, I had a perfect 9, but I think I missed out on joining the comp. Maybe you can just join the comp now, mate, and you can still win those jackpots weekly because you're here weekly.
Absolutely.
If you want to join in the comp, we'll put the links down below as well.
Or I can message it to you separately. Yeah, I can do that. That's easy. Anything else from you two?
No, that's perfect. Another good round of footy.
Absolutely. There actually were some explosive games this week.
Yeah,
there were, but just not some explosive umpiring, eh?
Piss off, Moisty.
All right, guys. Craig has a question before we go.
Okay.
Quick, Craig, send it in.
I can just imagine him sitting there typing as quick as
he can. I was like, we're on a delay.
Well, while we're waiting on that, Tazzy, how about I ask you, are you happy with the way that ended, or would you have preferred it to end in you guys winning instead of gifting it?
Yeah, I think winning. I think it should have been a ball up. And basically I would have backed us to win the ball up and kick a goal from it.
Yeah.
So this comes back to the North Melbourne Sydney, where Sydney got the interchange. They said they weren't happy winning like that, but you've got to take what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Craig's put, can we bring back the footy quiz?
Well, we might have to have a look into it, but then we'd have to drop probably Moisty's minute for the footy quiz. I might be able to do it.
Maybe we might have a look, and we might have like a special episode of a quiz.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yep.
Because what we're trying to do, Craig, is we're trying to stick within an hour. I know today we've gone over it, but we're really trying to stick to a time frame. However, maybe it's something.
It hurts when everything explodes, like Moisty's minute takes 6. I need to get back to the key dot points and just yes or no questions instead of letting us go off.
That's all right.
Maybe we'll look ahead and look for like a big buy round or something that could be a bit quieter, and we'll set something up there.
Yep. We'll definitely have a chat about it offline though. But great suggestion, Craig.
You're
Awesome.
placing 51st out of 61, Eggy. You are getting demolished.
I am. With all these going
all right, well, we're shutting up shop.
We are.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Hope you all have a fantastic week. We'll see you same time next Sunday. Let's hope next weekend's another explosive round of footy.
Cheers, guys.